Hello dear learners, topic of today's discussion is Introduction to Chemotherapy. What is expected to learn? Why to learn chemotherapy? Whatever antimicrobial agents, antibiotic, semi-synthetic antibiotics, antibacterial agents are there, about them, their definition, classification of medication along with their site as well as mechanism, then one or two drugs targeted for a disease, if there any resistance arises, to learn about that antibiotic resistance, and whatever individual or combination of drugs are there for treatment of various diseases, their pharmacology is expected to learn. Now, we will learn basic or introduction to chemotherapy. Now, what is chemotherapy? Chemotherapy. So, there is a use of chemical agents for diseases or infectious diseases to treat. So, combination of chemicals against disease, it is the main aim or motto of chemotherapy. Nowadays, chemotherapy is used for a broad word, that is cancer chemotherapy. Now, this therapy is what is the definition of chemotherapy? This chemotherapy is a treatment of systemic or topical infection with drugs that have selective toxicity for invading pathogens without harming or without causing any effects to the host cell. So, on slide you are seeing these are the chemical but powerful chemicals used to kill, to eradicate fast growing cells or invading pathogens without harming human host cell. They only produce selective toxicity towards microorganisms, and that is a need for a treatment, and that treatment is essential and that is expected to go for in a chemotherapy treatment. So, that is to make selective toxicity to invade pathogen without harming or without causing any systematic chemical changes on or of human host cell. Simple one word is need to treat infectious diseases without harming human cells. That is about chemotherapy. Now, as I said, chemotherapy is caused by, or chemotherapy is used to treat infectious disease, and infectious disease is caused by two different cases. One is microbes, that is bacteria, fungus or fungi and virus. Then parasites. In parasites, protozoal infections and helminths are required to treat. In a bacteria, specifically we will look forward for a gram positive and gram negative, and in case of virus, DNA containing virus, RNA containing virus and retro type of virus are required to cover it, or treatment is required to cover it, this infectious causing agents. Now, drugs are lying into the one heading. That heading is antimicrobial agents. Means oppose the action of with the word meaning microbial or microbes agents as a chemical drugs. In that, three important words are there. One is antibacterial agent, second is antibiotic, and third is a semi-synthetic antibiotic. Now, antibacterial agent, particularly a drug or drugs synthesized in the laboratory, and antibiotic is particularly fermentation, or it is used by fermentation against microorganisms. So, there are many antimicrobial agents where the key portion of the chemical structure is derived from the microbial source, but its chemical structure is then modified. Basic source of microorganism, but structure is modified, and attachment of different chemical moieties seen or observed, or that chemical is formed, and that chemical agent is lying under heading of semi-synthetic antibiotic. These particularly drugs like when we say, they have an action, and that action particularly concerned as a bactericidal action or a bacteriostatic action. If it is against fungus, so that time we can say it is a fungistatic or fungicidal. There are various antibiotics, antimicrobial agents, antibacterials are there. So we are going to learn that all drugs along with their classification. 2-3 examples I tell you. If it is a bacteriostatic, then I can say to you one example, that is microbial antibiotic, chloramphenicol, tetracycline or sulfonamide. If it is a bactericidal drugs, then it will be the aminoglycoside or fluoroquinolones. So these are some specification with respect to growth and multiplication of microorganism to stop, and drugs to kill microorganisms, and according to that there is a classification is concerned. Here you have to remember one thing. Bactericidal drugs are always preferred over static drugs under circumstances in which host defense are impaired or for management of complicated infections. For example, tuberculosis, endocarditis and meningitis. Thus, susceptibility of pathogen is not only criteria for the efficacy of antibiotics. So, main use of bactericidal drugs over static. Important is what here? Host defense and to manage complicated infections like tuberculosis. In tuberculosis, 2 or more drugs are used. Even though 2 or 3 drugs or more drugs are used, there is a resistance is reported. Even in endocarditis or meningitis. So, there is a need of some dose adjustment antibiotic therapy or antimicrobial agent therapy, so that we can cover that complicated infection. That is the point why bactericidals are preferred over bacteriostatic drugs. Now, next is we are learning with site and mechanism action of antibiotic. But before to talk on this, remember here ribosomal protein synthesis is a main component for new protein formation, and that protein formation in bacteria or in microorganism, it is a helpful for growth and multiplication. And in protein synthesis, ribosomal subunits are used, that is 30S and 50S. 30S and 50S are attached with each other through the messenger RNA strand, and here one unit is used. That name of unit is Savedberg unit, which is measurement of sedimentation rate, and that sedimentation rate is 30 to 50S subunit. It will become bacterial 70S ribosomal unit in the cytoplasm. So 30S and 50S, it should equal and come to the equal, is around 80, but it won't be like that. So it is used to concerned as a 70S Savedberg unit, and 1 Savedberg unit is 10 raised to minus 13 seconds. Most of the antibiotics acts on the inhibition of 30S ribosomal of bacteria and 50S ribosomal bacterial synthesis. And one more basic difference here you have to learn along with the protein synthesis, that is in case of gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Now, what is the main difference you are going to learn here? In a gram-positive bacteria, remember plasma membrane is just below that of cell wall, and that is consist of phospholipid bilayer and protein. And only if it is a case of fungus, there will be the components of sterols can arise. The function is selective permeability with specific transport mechanism for various nutrients. So, cell wall, then to the cell plasma membrane, and then next important things to remember about it's a bilayer and transport mechanism. Here you have to remember function of cell wall is to provide support to the membrane, and that is subjected to internal osmotic pressure due to hypertonic fluid inside the bacterial cell cytoplasmic membrane. So, 4 important points to remember. One is about cell wall, second with the cell membrane, third one is the transport, and fourth one is the internal environment of the bacteria. So, this is the main point about gram-positive bacteria. But if it is a case of gram-negative bacteria, gram-negative, there is an outer membrane outside the cell wall, and peptidoglycan cell wall is the sandwich between this outer membrane as well as internal cytoplasmic membrane. So, cell membrane, plasma membrane, cell wall, plasma membrane. So, cell wall is sandwiched, and that sandwich is a major consideration in treatment of gram-negative bacteria. So, which drug first to prefer, against cell wall or against to plasma membrane? This outer membrane, again you remember here, it is made up of lipopolysaccharides with narrow poring channels which serve as a barrier to the permeability of various antibiotics. Now, this is about main understanding behind gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria, and according to that we are utilizing action or drugs or chemotherapy against these bacterial infections. Now we learn, as you are seeing on this slide, site and mechanism of antibiotic action. Antimicrobial affect the viability of microorganisms by 4 different mechanisms. First one is inhibition of cell wall synthesis. Second one is alteration of cell membrane integrity. Third one is the inhibition of ribosomal protein synthesis. As I said just now about the Svedberg unit, 30S subunit, which is a smaller, 50S is a larger. So, both are attached with each other. And fourth one, suppression of DNA synthesis. In suppression of DNA synthesis, inhibition of folates, purines and pyrimidines. Then alteration of base pairings of the DNA base pairings, particularly of the templates. Then by inhibiting either DNA or RNA polymerase enzymes, and then by inhibition of DNA gyrase enzymes. Then we are linking with the direct damage in DNA and its functions. So, these are the few consideration under suppression of DNA along with their metabolism and their enzymatic reaction. Now, on this basic site and mechanism of action, we are learning with individual details of this all 4 different mechanisms against these infections. So, what we will see that in the next video. By this video, we will learn some basic components under introduction part of the chemotherapy and mechanism points of antimicrobial agents. Thank you.